Guys, welcome back to another episode of Atlas Survival Shelters. I'm back in the USA. It sure is good to be back. I want to tell you guys a story about what it costs if you have to go into an emergency room in a hospital in Poland, because it's going to shock you, the difference. So let me tell you my story, okay? So about 4 months ago, I was having pains here in Sulpher Springs, Texas. So I go up to the local hospital here in Sulpher Springs. I go into the emergency room and I say, oh my God, I'm having these pains in my back, both left and right side. Okay, now I'm no doctor, but I know now that when you have pains in the back on the left and the right, that it's kidney stones. But I told this local doctor that, but I also told him that I had just had surgery on my intestines and they removed 12 inches to remove a tumor. And I was worried that it had something to do with that because I'm freaking out over cancer and stuff. So I go into the local hospital there. I go into the emergency room. They ask me when I check in, what is your level of pain? And I'm like, well, it hurts pretty bad. So they give me like a level 5. And I don't know how high the levels go. Maybe it's from 1 to 10. So I go into the hospital. They take me to a room, put me on an IV. The doctor comes in, he says, what's the problem? And I tell him I'm having these pains in my back and that I had just had surgery about 7 months earlier, have 12 inches of intestine removed because I had a tumor. And I was worried that this cancer might have spread or something. And I told him that I was having these pains in my back. Well, at that point, he should have probably known by being a doctor, well, we might want to check your kidney stones, but he never did. So they roll me into the CAT scan area, and they take me on back there and do a CAT scan. I get rolled back to my room, and doctor comes in, looks at the chart, and he goes, nah, looks okay to me, you know. And basically, they send me home. Never even brought up the word kidney stones. Okay, end the story right there, right? Okay, so about 2 weeks later, I get a bill from the emergency room for $10,500 for my visit. Keep that in mind, $10,500. And when I came in there, I said, look, I'm just gonna pay cash for this. And when I tried to leave, the lady said, well, there's no one here to take your cash, we'll just bill you. And I'm like, okay, but you know, I'm gonna pay cash for this visit because I know how you hospitals are. So they keep calling me about paying this $10,500 bill, $10,500 bill, and I'm gonna not pay $10,500. So now I'm gonna be on a plane and I fly over to London. I fly to London, and this is just like 2 months ago, okay? I fly to London. On the way to London on my plane, I start having these pains in my stomach. And I mean, oh my God, it felt like I was gonna pop. I felt like I had like gas. Like internal gas. So the flight attendant brings me a little Pepto-Bismol pill. I take the pill. About 20 minutes later, guess what? I feel fine. So I was just thinking, okay, it's internal gas. I get to London the next day, the pain starts coming back again. So the guy takes me up to a pharmacy store there in England, and he gives me, or I buy a bottle of Maalox, and I take this Maalox, and about 20 minutes later, I'm feeling fine. So I'm just thinking I have internal gas. Well, the whole time, the problem is kidney stones. So the next day, I'm in London. We do all the things that we need to do. We go to a job site, you know, of a concrete bunker, and we go there and I film it and everything. And then we go eat this Chinese food in Chinatown in London. And right after we ate, I mean, I don't take 2 steps out the front door and oh my God, am I hurting? Oh, the pain was incredible. So the guy takes me to my hotel, and I'm drinking this Maalox. I'll take a swig, and by the time I get there, the Maalox had made me sick, and I literally threw it all up, okay? But I lay in there doubled over like a baby in bed all night long. I have a flight to Poland the next day, or to Berlin, to get to Poland, to my factory over there. I fly to Berlin, the guy picks me up, and all I can say is, get me to a hospital in Poland. So he goes 120 miles an hour, drives me 3 hours to a Poland hospital. And this is where this story gets really good, because we're going to see the cost difference between America and Poland for the same service, if not better, in Poland. So he takes me up to this hospital in Poland. And the cool thing about this hospital, it was built in 1850. And during World War II, it was actually the hospital for the German Wehrmacht. Okay, so this hospital has a lot of history. So I walk into the hospital there, and there's like no patients, basically. There's no one there. So I get the attention of the doctor and like 2 or 3 nurses, all right? So the first thing they do is they hook me up on an IV, okay, to get the pain stopped. And they also draw blood. So they draw 3 vials of blood, put me on an IV, and luckily the pain stopped. Thank God, okay? So I've been there about an hour now, and I have all the attention of all these people, the doctor, 2 or 3 nurses. They roll me over to a CAT scan, and they actually have a CAT scan there, yeah. So I do a CAT scan. After the CAT scan, they take me into another room, and they do an X-ray. Okay, now they take me back to a room, and I'm basically waiting for an hour or so. And he finally comes in and he sees 2 things. He goes, I see 2 kidney stones. And sure enough, I had kidney stones there. So the pain that I was having had nothing to do with my surgery. It just so happened that the pain was coming from right here, exactly where my surgery was at. Okay, so he gives me a laundry list of prescriptions and pills that I can go buy at the local pharmacy, which I go do. But the story gets interesting here. So when I go to check out, now keep in mind they have socialized medicine in Poland, so people aren't used to paying when they go to the hospital in Poland. So when I go to pay, okay, they have to figure out a bill to charge me. But for an emergency hospital visit, X-rays, CAT scan, blood work, IV, and all this stuff, a lot more than what I got done at the hospital here in Sulpher Springs, Texas. When I checked out, I gave them 200 American dollars, and they actually gave me change. So our system must be seriously broke, that if I can go to Poland and get a CAT scan, an emergency hospital stay, blood work, X-rays, and the tender care of a doctor and 3 nurses for like 4 hours, and it doesn't even cost $200. And he gets it right. He finds the kidney stones. Yet I go to a local hospital here in Sulphur Springs, Texas. I go in there, do a CAT scan, and this doctor in the ER did not even bring up the term kidney stones, okay? He just says, I don't see nothing, and sends me home, okay? Never even diagnosed the kidney stones. Well, luckily, one of the kidney stones passed after I left the Polish hospital, but I came right back to the USA. I went straight to the doctor that looks at the intestines and everything, and she looks at the X-rays from Poland, because I brought them back on a disc, and she determined, yeah, you have kidney stones, your surgery looks okay, and everything looks fine. So the moral of the story is $200 versus $10,000, okay? There's something broken in this American system. So I go back up to the local hospital, and I'm gonna argue this $10,000 bill. And I said, listen, if I walk in here to see a doctor and I'm paying cash, no insurance, how much is the bill? They go, well, we determine it on your level of pain. So what was your pain at the time? I said, I guess, what does it say? They said, well, you were listed as a level 5, which is pretty severe. Okay, so if it's a level 1, the doctor visit's like $250. If it's a level 2, it's $300. Level 3, $350. Level 4, $400. Level 5, $500. So it's level 5, I guess. Okay, so $500 for the doctor visit. So I asked, okay, how much would it be if I just walk in and say, I want a CAT scan of this region of my stomach? What would that cost? So she looks up the chart, she goes, $400. So I said, now why didn't you bill me $900 Why did you bill me $10,500 when it should be $900 if I'm offering to pay cash? And she says, well, that's just how we do it. Okay, so to make a long story short, I said, well, this is all going to be on YouTube. I'm going to make a story about this, which I'm doing right now. I paid them $900.
Okay, this is your receipt for your $900 payment today. And we put a note that for our CFO, Eric, we were going to honor that $900 bill that you were quoted.
Okay.
And Miss Lisa's going to go downstairs and make the adjustments. So
that $10,000 bill will not bug me anymore.
Never.
Right.
Never. Okay.
If it does.
Okay, in cash for what I did here in Sulpher Springs. So I made this video just to show you guys the difference. So if you ever need any medical care done, guys, get on a plane, fly to Europe, go to Poland or some country like that where they have socialized medicine and get it done there. Now, I know you got the cost of the flight and you got the cost of the hotels and all that stuff to figure in, but I'm telling you. So an example is, this is Saturday, November 5th, 2022. On Monday, I have my follow-up colonoscopy for my surgery. That's gonna cost $2,800 to have done on Monday. Now, if I would have had it done in Poland when I was making one of my visits to the factory over there, the colonoscopy was gonna be under $300, okay? And I was gonna be there, so it was actually a pretty good deal. But $2,800 to get a colonoscopy is the pay cash price. If you use your insurance, it's around $12,000. So the hospitals are screwing the insurance is getting screwed. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. When I had my surgery done, my intestines removed and my tumor removed, the insurance was a $10,000 deductible and the total surgery was over $40,000. I was smart enough to ask him, how much would it cost if somebody walked in here and did not have insurance and just paid cash for it? So they said it was $4,500 for the surgery, about $3,500 for the hospital stay, and like $500 for the anesthesiologist. So I said, $8,500 cash? And they go, yeah. I said, then why would I use my insurance, pay a $10,000 deductible when I could just pay $8,500 cash and get the surgery done? So guess what I did? I paid cash. So is insurance even worth having when the hospitals are putting such high deductibles and charging the insurance companies so much money? I say the answer is probably not, unless you have a terminal cancer and your insurance is going to go into the millions. But I have learned that it's better to just pay cash when you go to a hospital instead of using the insurance. So guys, you know, put your opinions below. This was my experience when I went to America, an American hospital, and then went to a Polish hospital. So guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you found this video interesting. As always, I love you. I'll see you on another video.